Sumo Saturday project. This week we're talking about cultures that are accepting of, you know, different body images and things. And I was thinking about it, and I want to talk about sumo. I came across a TV show the other day. It was like a documentary about sumo wrestlers. And not knowing a whole heck of a lot about it, I started watching it, and it was very interesting. I mean, these men are large. Many of them are like 500 pounds, but they're considered like cherished athletes in Japan. And sumo wrestling is like the national sport of Japan. But it was kind of crazy. Like, these sumo wrestlers would walk down the street in their kimonos, and they're very large men, but these people would just lose their freaking minds over these sumo wrestlers. And, you know, they basically have to live in these houses where they're studying to be sumo wrestlers, and they wrestle in their thongy things, and then they eat, and then they take a nap. Then they eat, and then they take a nap. And then they eat, and then they take a nap. I'm like, where the hell do I sign up? But I guess, you know, it dates back to ancient times, and there's a lot of Shintoism associated with it, with the ritual of it, which is very interesting. But it fascinated me that these men were just considered gods. And then I was very interested because I was doing some reading when I was Googling about cultures and weights and body image and stuff. I came across some statistics on eating disorders. And Japan, the women of Japan statistically come in second behind the United States in eating disorder related deaths of women. I thought, how interesting. A culture that reveres men that are large for their status and for their athleticism and just power, and yet the women are more and more becoming victim to eating disorders and the pressure of being thin and meeting a certain ideal. So here's the thing. The women of Japan are second in the world for eating disorders behind the United States, and yet the men are revered for sumo wrestling and for eating. If you've never watched an eating competition, you shouldn't be able to eat that many hot dogs in one sitting. But the thing about sumo is women aren't allowed to even touch the ring that they fight in. You can't touch it, you can't set foot in it, and of course you can't fight. And I guess there's a lot of sumo wrestling in the United States where there's women that do it, and how interesting. Such a double standard, and I just found that really interesting. And I mean, it's their sport, it has the ties to all different kinds of aspects of their culture, and there's probably so much more depth to that than I'll ever know. But I just found that really interesting. Don't you find that interesting? That's all I have today. Sumo wrestling. In other news, I had surgery this week. Ow, 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 ow. I had my carpal tunnel surgery. Very excited. I had the right hand done, and I have to do the left hand. But let me even tell you, I'm already feeling freedom of carpal tunnel surgery. It was awesome. I'm very excited about that. So I've been kind of MIA with posting comments and stuff, but I'm back. And catch you on the flippity flop. Have a good week. Peace out. There's fun stuff coming in June that I'm very excited about. And kisses to all the girls, especially Crystal. Crystal! You! Hey! I don't have my thong on. I can't. You really don't want to see that. It needs a loofah.